Hey there YouTube, welcome back to another video. I've been beavering away, painting up another French Battalion. I've been stuck at home now for about 3 weeks or so. Now I do spend a lot of time on my own, so it's not nothing new, but for me to actually stay 3 weeks in and not actually go out at all is pretty rare. You know, I might only go out like maybe 2 or 3 times a month, but that, you know, just that alone is making quite a big difference. And of course, not seeing anyone is the other thing. I'm going a little bit stir crazy with only a cat to talk to, and a cat that trolls me at every opportunity as well. Anyway, as you can see, I've got my my next battalion up on my table here in my living room. And I'll just give you a quick, I'll just unbutton the camera and give you a quick look. This will probably, like I say, I was kind of planning on doing some kind of, you know, playing a few battles. Whether or not I'll actually record them first, I don't know, because, like I say, I want to try and get some rules down, and also remind myself how to play Back Powder, because I haven't played it for a while. But you can see here, it's a very, very basic setup. You've got some light forests. Got a main road going down here, and we've got like a junction and a large hill, which could be like an objective, you know, covering this junction here. Then we've got some ruins, some ruined farmhouses, and some more, a little bit heavier wood over there, and a big main hill in the middle with some rocky outcrops for cover. And then over here we have another destroyed farmhouse. And another hill over this side, and then a little bit of my homemade road there because I run out. That's my terrain road. This is my homemade road, basically made out of corrugated cardboard with flock on. And then another light forest there, or rough ground perhaps. But I think the tree's actually been knocked off the table by my cat. Who decided to sleep for a couple of... Oh, there's a destroyed forest there. She decided to, as you can see, this strange dusting of white mixed in with a flock there is my cat deciding to sleep on the hill there for a couple of nights, and I had to, in the end, sort of put like some bubble wrap over it. And she decided to like sleep there, but luckily, fingers crossed, she's now moved on to another sleeping spot. She wasn't there for very long. She's only there for like 2 or 3 nights. But yeah, that's my gaming table. Like I say, I'm not 100% sure what exactly I'm going to be playing. But at some point, Napoleonics are going to come into it. The main reason being for me to actually transfer my forces from my painting room to this room is a bit of a hardship for me. I mean, I brought these guys in on my my little board, you know, my painting board, my cutting board. But yeah, like I say, if I do play, it'll only be like a couple of brigades, so it shouldn't be too many miniatures. But I need to, you know, for me to actually do a battle report, I need to seriously think about how I'm going to do it, because as you can see, I mean, if I lift up the camera again, you can see that there's not much room between that cabinet and getting up the top of the table that way. And over the other side, we've got, well, it's basically cut off because of the chair here. And then there's like a little cabinet there, and then the table goes off over there, and you can see that it's very difficult for me to actually get to the opposite side of the table. So unless I either move the chair out or you know, pull the table out, you know, take the table down and pull the table out further, which again is difficult for me to do because I'm on my own. It's kind of quite difficult to try and get over to the far reaches of the table, because I thought, well, I mean, the trouble with the 6x4 is it's either end that's the problem. It's you know, if it was like, perhaps if it was 6x6, then you'd probably get away with it. But to have like I mean, you could probably get away with 2, maybe 3 brigades, but any more than that, then you're kind of running out of room, especially if you use line formation, which obviously takes up a good chunk of the table. You could probably only have like maybe 3 or 4, well, maybe say 4, possibly 5 infantry battalions in line formation across the width of the table. And obviously you can have like reserves and stuff. So you could have perhaps a brigade or 2 in reserve, and you could probably have a good mass battle over time. But I think it would be there would be a lot of you would definitely be running out of space at certain points for sure. Anyway, I'm waffling. I'll get back to the point in hand. So these guys are. This is basically my last half of brigade to finish off 3rd Corps. These guys are the 33rd, and we'll just bring them down a little bit closer. In fact, actually, what I'll do is I'll just bring in the painting board again, just so that they stand out rather than mix them with the table. So I'll just bring them down. Okay. I'll just move the camera down. Okay, do that a little bit. There we go. Right. So like I say, these are the 33rd, and I'll give you the blurb on these guys. They are the 33rd line and the 2nd Brigade, 11th Division, 3rd Corps. And as you can remember, I actually, because I only do like 1 battalion of infantry and some of them have got 2 or 3, I normally abridge the 1st and 2nd Brigades into 1 brigade, which generally gives me 4 or 5 infantry battalions and most of the time a battery of cannon. So that's the blurb. Oh, we've got to tell you who's in command of these boys. These guys are commanded by a Colonel Claude Augustin. Try and get that to focus. There we go. Colonel Claude Augustin. And we'll start off by the Grenadiers, I suppose, like I normally do. So here we go. So these guys are made up out of a mixture, just about every mixture you could imagine, basically. So we have Perrys, we have a few Calpe, this guy being one of them, and the rest are front rank, finishing off my French Battalion of front rank. And you can see that I have another converted sapper there, using the Victrix bearskin head, and again Vallejo plastic putty for his gauntlets and his apron, and the Calpe guy there and his long coat. And actually having a long coat actually mixed them, because some of the Perrys have obviously got long coats themselves. And on here we have 1 Perry, 2 front rank, and this guy's actually a front rank base body with just the Victrix head and the plastic putty elements. So that is the Grenadiers. And we have the 4th Company, and these guys are 3 Perrys and 1 front rank, I believe. I believe this guy, no, that guy's the front rank there. So this guy here's front rank. That guy there, these other 3 are Perrys. There is just a slight difference in height between these guys and Perrys. Other than that, they're pretty much on par, and of course just slightly thinner muskets. But they still scale up well. And as you can see, That's you know, that's the main stand of sort of bog infantry. So that's those guys. 4th Company. Now Voltigeurs or Voltigeurs. Now these guys have decided to do something a little bit different with. As you can see, they have a officer in their ranks, and it's actually the female officer. I was kind of thinking about what to do with her. I've only got like one light unit in my whole French army. I was thinking of just putting her on a normal stand and adding to my little ad hoc group of Voltigeurs, but they already had an officer, and I really didn't know what to do with her. And I thought, well, you know, each company is supposed to have an officer, so I'm just going to chuck her in. And there she goes, and I don't think she looks too bad myself. It's quite a nice figure. And I believe, there's one Perry's on here, I believe, and the other 2 are front rank. So that is the Voltigeurs. I think she looks quite good in there, actually. Again, you wouldn't really know that she's a female unless you really look. But I'm glad I decided to, you know, thought of a way of using her. Next up, we'll go for the drummer. Drummer stand. So on here we've got 2 front rank, the drummer and this guy here, and the other 2 are Perry's. Actually, thinking about it, no, he's also front rank. So we've got 3 front rank on here, and 1 Perry's. And as you can see, the drummer of this unit has got a blue jacket with white ribbons, or white facings. Not facings. White detail, lacing, I guess it would be. And the standard sort of yellow and blue drum. And that's them out the way. Next up, we'll go for the sergeant stand. And again, this is actually made up of I think there's one Perry on here, or maybe not. Maybe they're all front rank again. So we've got four front rank. Can't speak. And 1 guy is a converted sergeant because he's got his sobriquet on the side. And yeah, quite happy with those. I had a really good use out of my. Actually, no, that's right. Yeah, I had a really good use out of my my battalion pack. Actually, both of my battalion packs I had really good use out of them. I was really quite pleased that I decided to get those because I've managed to use them in like 3 brigades again. Or 3 battalions, I mean. So here we go, is the command stand, last to be painted as usual, and the flag for the 33rd, and here we can see the junior officer there, the first lieutenant, and the eagle protector in the background, the standard bearer, and again another view of the eagle protector. This guy is these 2 here are Perry's from my last command pack that I picked up especially for doing these 2 battalions. Now I was originally going to put the Perry's sapper onto this into this battalion, but it's actually quite a small sculpt, and he just kind of looked out of place with the rest of the Grenadiers. I mean, obviously there's another Perry in there, but he kind of looked a little odd because obviously sappers and Grenadiers are meant to be quite beefy chaps, and having a couple of these beefy chaps and then a couple of like slightly shorter guys, and especially being a sapper, it just didn't quite look right. So I decided to, because my next battalion is going to be made up of a lot more Perrys, I decided to keep him to put in with that battalion so that he looks, he matches up with the rest of the sized figures. Because my next battalion's only really got a metal, metal command figures, and I think I'm going to use the standard from the Perry's box for those guys. So they'll have 3 metal command, which will be the Perry's Eagle Protector and my final 2 Calpe officers. So that is the command group, and that is the end of this video. The end is getting real near now. I'm literally 1 battalion away, and I'll probably be starting them in, well, probably sometime this week. I'll probably take a little bit of a rest again. I'm still kind of, I've got a few little Napoleonic little mini projects still going. Like I've still got my sort of English lady, Napoleonic style lady to finish off painting. She was kind of being painted up at the same time as I was painting my female voltigeur, and she just got put to the side a little bit while I was doing these guys. And of course, when I decided that I was going to actually use her in a use the female voltigeur in a battalion, she kind of overtook her, because they were both pretty well done, to tell the truth. There's not much. They're probably both like maybe 75-80% done. So it saved me actually painting up another figure by adding the female voltigeur to this, and I might just because I've still got the painting bug, so I might finish her off over the next couple of days just to get some painting in, and before I start actually knuckling down and working on my last French battalion, because again, it's like French seem to be quite time consuming doing when you're painting them, and I'm sure everyone that has painted French feels the same. But I think I was kind of pumping out, like, because again I did like 2 groups of 9 and the final group of 6. And I was finding that the groups of 9 were taking me about, roughly, on average, about 3 days from start to finish, and the 6 took me roughly 2 days of sort of medium painting sessions. So you're talking like maybe sort of 4 or 5 hours sort of thing. I haven't actually done any major crazy painting sessions like I have done in the recent past. So waffling on again. Been watching all your videos, enjoying your content, and I think I've had a few more subscribers, so thank you to those guys. And I'll have another video for you fairly soon, I suppose, although it might only be the Napoleonic lady, but it'll be something. So until next time, everyone, catch you later. Bye bye.